The Gallatin River is bone-chilling in September, but the fisherman isn't shivering from the cold. He's staring at a shallow grave, unaware that the killer is currently standing in the search party behind him. The police are looking for a missing girl, but they don't realize they've already shaken the hand of the man who buried her.
September 1996. Danielle Houchins was a 15-year-old girl with a bright smile and a love for the outdoors. She was a student at Brusley High School, living in the quiet community of Iberville Parish. On this particular Friday, the sun was beating down, casting long, sharp shadows across the gravel paths leading to the water's edge. Danielle told her mother she was going for a walk to clear her head. She headed toward the bayou, a place she knew well. By late afternoon, the golden hour light hit the ripples of the water. When she didn't return for dinner, the peaceful atmosphere of the Houchins' home shattered. Search parties moved through the tall grass. Their flashlights cut through the dark, reflecting off the murky water. They found her belongings first. The shoes were the most haunting, lined up perfectly, as if waiting for her to step back into them. There were no signs of a struggle, no dragged footprints in the mud, no muffled screams heard by neighbors. The air grew cold as the realization set in. Something had gone terribly wrong in the silence of the woods. But as the investigators waded into the reeds, they didn't realize that the most dangerous witness was watching them from the treeline. The next morning, the search ended in tragedy. Danielle's body was recovered from the shallow water. The coroner's report was chilling. She had been drowned, but there was no evidence of sexual assault or a clear motive. The police were baffled. They looked at the boyfriend, but his alibi was concrete. They looked at the local drifters, but the trail went cold. Every lead felt like a dead end in a maze of cypress trees. The community was paralyzed. Parents locked their doors. The once friendly streets of Iberville felt narrow and suffocating. Rumors swirled like the silt at the bottom of the bayou. Some said it was a random act of evil. Others whispered it was someone they all knew. Despite the pressure, the file was tucked away in a dusty cabinet, labeled unsolved. Little did they know, a single piece of microscopic evidence was sitting in a climate-controlled locker, waiting for technology to catch up to a killer's heartbeat. For 30 years, the case remained a ghost. Then, in early 2026, a specialized cold case unit utilized advanced genetic genealogy. They took a DNA sample found on Danielle's clothing. The lab didn't just find a match. They built a family tree. It led them to a name that had never appeared in the original 1996 case file. The figure in the shadows finally had a face. He wasn't a monster from a nightmare, but a man who had lived a quiet, ordinary life just 3 towns over. When the handcuffs clicked shut, the sound echoed through 3 decades of silence. The suspect's hands didn't just shake. They turned white as he realized the past had finally caught him. The arrest sent shockwaves through the parish, proving that even the darkest waters eventually clear. The killer had been hiding in plain sight, living among the families he had traumatized. 3 theories had long dominated this case. First, that Danielle had slipped, disproven by the positioning of her shoes. Second, that a stranger had snatched her, disproven by the calculated nature of the crime. The shocking truth was a predatory neighbor who had waited for the perfect moment to strike. Justice has a long memory, but it cannot bring back a 15-year-old girl. If the evidence was there all along, how many other monsters are hiding in plain sight?